So what do you do before you start? You wash your hands with soap. You rinse. No, you don't rinse. What do you do? What do you call this? Whatever you do. Whatever it is, you do this for 20 seconds. And I'm sure it's about 20 seconds. Then you wash them hands. And this made me realize that for the longest time we haven't been washing our hands. We've only been rinsing. Because washing includes you putting soap, doing what I just did, and rinsing. Then you have fully washed your hands. You don't wipe, because whatever you touch can be infectious. Just allow them to dry. Let's go shoot. So after washing your hands, make sure that you use hand lotion. Or anything, or body lotion, just so that your hands don't become scruffy and you know what I mean. But yeah, just make sure that you smell nice and you're good. Hygiene on flick. Welcome to the Miracle Perspective, guys. This is TMP, and we are living in some really tough times, man. And I just thought today, let me talk about something very pertinent and something that we are faced with, which is not really coronavirus, because apparently if you talk and spread fake news about coronavirus, you get arrested. So guys, prepare yourselves to come and visit me. In quarantine, I mean. So guys, the biggest issue here is a lot of people are going to be stuck in quarantine. Well, according to what the recommendations are and what's happening all over the world, the best place to be right now is isolation, quarantine. And following up to last week's episode with Trust on the issue of mental health, because that's where my interest is. I understand there's health, physical health involved, and all those things involved. But here's the thing, we can get, so far I think we are able to try and prevent for physical health problems because of the measures that are in place. And big ups to our president, the government is doing its best to try and prevent us from having this coronavirus. But my biggest issue still to date is what is happening to our minds, our emotions during this time of uncertainties. And it's getting really, really serious, because every day we get reports of advancements in the number of cases that are there. It didn't take a week. It doesn't take days. Numbers just keep increasing. Until when? And at that time, what's happening to us personally? What is it? What are we doing to protect our minds, our emotions, and all that? And that's a very important thing that I want us to look at still today, as we are motivated and encouraged to stay indoors, no parties, no alcohol. And I saw Benjamin Dube. Man, South Africa. I wanted to digress. So there's a lot of things happening. The social things that we used to do, they're not happening anymore. We're used to hanging out with friends. Weekends, we stay with friends. But right now, those things are limited, right? So what do you do in quarantine? By the way, disclaimer, none of what I talk about here constitutes as professional advice or anything that you must take as law or something to live your life by. I'm just giving a perspective here. The perspective is coming from a personal, subjective point of view, and it's just me. So I'm going to invite you to things that I think are very important at this time of uncertainty. One thing, according to my view, two most important things that we need to make sure that we boost during this time of isolation and uncertainty is, number one, your mental state. Number two, your immune system. Well, the number three is the external factors of making sure you wash your hands, take all those necessary measures, social distancing and all that, you know that. But the biggest, most important things in my view your mind, and your immune system. Because those are the most powerful weapons you have into fighting whatever, whether physical or intellectual. Let me break it down. In terms of immune system, that's related to health. I was concerned, and I was thinking, what happens to those people that have recovered from coronavirus after the recovery? Are they still infectious? Question number one. Can they still infect, meaning can they still infect other people that they get in contact with? And can the virus reinfect them? Can they have a second infection? What is it that right now they must do after recovery? And I came across an article. Was it an article or something on the World Economic Forum website, where the conclusion was that doctors in China, many doctors involved in this, they're not really sure yet as to, are they infectious or can the virus reinfect them? So the best thing to do at this stage, according to them, is to stay in isolation again. Because the other question was, when do you go back to work after recovery? And when do you get back into contact with other people? So those kind of things are what was playing in my mind. So at this point in time, there's no set or solid answer to that, which brings us back to us as individuals. What do we do? How do we protect ourselves? And as I said, let me get back to the immune system. I believe that the most important thing in my own view, and that's what I'm doing to myself, boosting your immune system through eating healthy. Nutrients. Put in those vitamin B's, A's, your B carotenes, your carrots, your zinc, your vitamin C, all those important and essential nutrients that you need to build you build and boost your immune system. That's what you're going to need right now. Do whatever it takes. Build your immune system such that even when the virus, any virus, comes into you, your immune system is ready to fight. Understand what I'm saying? This is what I'm doing to myself, right? Invitation to those who feel like it's good for them. It's not advice. Ne? Don't misquote me. Number two, when it comes to your mind, right now we are bombarded by information, man. Information coming from everywhere. Information overload. And it's becoming so much that we don't know what to do with the information. And it all gets here. Fills you up, you get confused because of everything that you see. In a second, before you know it, we are 150 cases, 200, 240. They keep increasing. Hey, people died in Italy. People are dying in America. So it becomes so much to your mind. And what's the result that comes out of that? Fear, anxiety. And when you are in that state of fear, nothing productive comes out of that. You start acting in panic because you've allowed a lot of information clouding your mind. And mind you, maybe a few percent of the information that you get is negative. When news reports come, they are almost 90% of the time negative. No news that I've seen that says, here's a solution. No, news don't sell when they're positive. They sell when they're negative. So what we are seeing on a daily basis, what we are consuming on a daily basis is negative information coming to your head. What is happening in your head? Now you're thinking, am I next? Is it me who was gonna get this corona? Am I gonna die? All these things now, they cloud your mind. And that is a very dangerous place to be in, because even if you become that person who gets the virus, because you are clouded by this information that scares you, you end up feeling worse than you were supposed to feel. Why? Because of the thoughts you had about this. Then now you are killed by your own thoughts. Because your mind is powerful, guys. There's a study that was done with regards to people with cancer. When they go for diagnosis or whatever it is, then the doctor tells them, they ask them, doctor, how many more days do I have left? They tell you have 4 months. The study says 70% of the time, those people that were told how much time they have left, when they get to that time, they die. Simple and straightforward. Why? Because their minds were conditioned and they were ready to die at the time. There are those 30% of people that are told that you'll only survive for the next 4 months. But they go home, they fill their minds with positivity and they say, no, I'm not gonna die. And they become the successes that we talk about. People who don't die, they defy the stats of death. Which really supports what I'm saying right now, to say that your mind is powerful. Your mind is your biggest weapon at this time. Your mind is the single most important thing that you need right now. In a time where you are bombarded by everything negative, you need to stand out and say, I'm gonna make it. I get it, I don't get it, I'm gonna make it. Because at the end of the day, it is what you do about what happens that makes you different. What happens to everybody. For all we know, we could all be infected. But the difference is, what do you do about it? And that's why everybody in the world, they've given us precautions, necessary measures to take to prevent this thing from happening. So my suggestion, in short, my invitation is, sit back, relax, enjoy your time with your loved ones in quarantine, and feed your mind with positivity. Feed your mind with not naive positivity. No, what's happening is happening and it's reality. So, in spite of what's happening, how do you come out as a winner? And your mind is what will support you in this time. Because out of this, man, there are two solutions. There are two things that can happen. You can either be left in a very miserable state mentally, like what we spoke about in the previous video with trust, or you can come out feeling positive. Wow, what an experience. It was a journey and here I am. And they say out of every crisis comes opportunity. Are you going to be that person that comes out seeing opportunities out of this? Already people are seeing opportunities. People are making hand sanitizers. People are making hand lotions. They're out of stock. But now people who are thinking on their feet, they see opportunity and they get into business and they're making it. What are you feeding your mind? And that's the thing. But one thing that I say is, let us not be scared. All right, let me not talk to you, I'm talking to me. I'm not gonna be scared during this time. I'm just gonna be calm. Stay calm, because when you are calm, you're able to think rationally, you're able to question things. And in times when things are changing, what is it that you do? Dr. Miles Monroe says, you need to start to depend on those things that do not change, i.e. God. If you're a believer, believe that God doesn't change and His word is true and it will always remain true all the time. And He says, fear not. So I suggest, fear not. It's finished.
Miracle perspective is in the area. Perspective. It's finished.